The average convenience store in the United States employs between 6 and 8 people, most of them part-time, most of them earning close to minimum wage, and almost none of them receiving health insurance or retirement benefits. A single Buc-ee's travel center employs more than 200 people full-time at $18 an hour, with medical, dental, and vision coverage, a 6% matching 401k, 3 weeks of paid vacation, and double time pay on holidays. 5 of these facilities are opening in 2026 across 3 new states. The combined job creation from those 5 locations alone exceeds 1,000 full-time positions with benefits in an industry where that type of compensation barely exists. On April 6, 2026, Buc-ee's opened its first Ohio location in Huber Heights near Dayton. The store recorded over $1 million in sales on its first day, the largest opening day figure in the company's 44-year history. Every hotel from Huber Heights to Miller Lane sold out over the weekend. Cars backed up for miles on Interstate 70 and State Route 235, with customers lining up at midnight for a 6 a.m. opening. The city estimates the store will move roughly 25 million gallons of fuel per year. Governor Mike DeWine attended the ribbon cutting. Mayor Jeff Gore declared April 6th Buc-ee's Day and described the impact as extending well beyond fuel, noting that every visitor who stops for gas is also a potential customer for the surrounding community. Buc-ee's founder, Arch Applin, called the turnout the most attended grand opening the company has ever had. The Huber Heights store sits on 53 acres at the intersection of I-70 and State Route 235. It occupies 74,000 square feet, roughly the size of a standard grocery store and a hardware store combined, with 120 gas pumps, more than 700 parking spaces, and 24 electric vehicle charging stations. To handle the projected volume, the Ohio Department of Transportation designed a new ramp off I-70 and a redesigned entrance from Route 4. The city widened roads, installed new traffic signals, and improved flow through the CenterPoint 70 Boulevard corridor. A proposed tax increment financing district tied to the site is projected to generate approximately $4.6 million over 30 years. Buc-ee's was founded in 1982 when Applin, then 23 years old, opened a 3,000 square foot convenience store in Clute, Texas. He named it after his childhood nickname, Beaver, and his Labrador retriever, Buck. The company opened its first large-format travel center in Luling in 2003 and began expanding outside Texas in 2019. As of the Huber Heights opening, the chain operates 55 locations across 12 states. Every location operates 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Ohio was the first of 3 states receiving a Buc-ee's for the first time in 2026. Arizona and Arkansas are next, with additional locations scheduled in Tennessee and Texas. The economic profile at each site follows a consistent pattern, and the numbers are specific enough to verify. In Goodyear, Arizona, the state's first Buc-ee's opens June 22nd. The 74,000 square foot store sits on 22 acres of former farmland that Buc-ee's purchased for $17.24 million in March 2024. After the City Council approved rezoning. It will have 120 fueling stations and more than 200 full-time positions, starting at $18 an hour. Every position pays well above both the federal and state minimum wage, with full benefits attached. In Benton, Arkansas, the state's first Buc-ee's is under construction at the Interstate 30 and Highway 229 interchange. Local officials toured the roughly 75,000 square foot facility in February 2026, and the opening has been moved up to early to mid-August, ahead of the original September target. The site will have 120 gas pumps and around 200 jobs. The store is projected to draw 3 million visitors per year into a county where that volume of outside spending has not previously existed. Saline County Judge Matt Brumley said the dollars will stay in Saline County, noting that while visitors come from outside the area, the economic activity remains local. In Murfreesboro, Tennessee, Buc-ee's broke ground in October 2025 on the state's fourth location at Interstate 24 and Joe B. Jackson Parkway. This store will have 220 gasoline pumps, one of the largest fuel layouts in the entire chain, and is expected to employ approximately 250 people. 3 new traffic signals have already been installed in the surrounding area ahead of a December 2026 opening. Governor Bill Lee attended the groundbreaking. Founder Arch Applin said they were going to build one heck of a facility. In San Marcos, Texas, a new location along Interstate 35 targets a mid-2026 opening with 128 fuel pumps. The store is projected to generate $5.9 million in property taxes over 15 years, plus half of its sales tax revenue flowing directly to the local area. Across all 5 locations, every employee receives the same compensation structure: $18 an hour starting, $21 for food service, full medical, dental, and vision, a 6% 401k match, 3 weeks paid vacation, and double time on holidays. In an industry where the typical gas station attendant works part-time without benefits, these 5 openings are placing more than 1,000 full-time positions with retirement plans and health coverage into communities where that type of employment has not historically been available. The 5 2026 openings are part of a confirmed expansion into at least 7 new states. A Buc-ee spokesperson confirmed upcoming locations in Arizona, Arkansas, Kansas, Louisiana, North Carolina, Ohio, and Wisconsin. The company says each travel center takes 18 to 24 months to build. Locations already under construction for 2027 include Oak Creek, Wisconsin, which would become the chain's northernmost store, along with sites in Ruston, Louisiana, Kansas City, Kansas, and Mebane, North Carolina. A West Memphis, Arkansas location is expected to become one of the 3 largest Buc-ee's ever built. This expansion is colliding with similar moves from 2 competing chains. Sheetz opened its first store in the Philadelphia suburbs in February 2026, directly across from a Wawa, and has committed $500 million to open 14 locations across Metro Detroit. Wawa is building 60 new stores across Ohio over the next decade. All 3 chains are now targeting the same interstate corridors and the same consumer base, particularly in the Midwest and Mid-Atlantic. When multiple fuel and convenience competitors enter the same market simultaneously, consumers in those corridors typically see lower pump prices and higher service standards as each chain competes for the same driver pulling off the highway. Not every community has accepted the expansion. In Palmer Lake, Colorado, contentious meetings over a proposed location led to the resignation of 3 town officials, and the governor called for the site to be reconsidered because it sits within a critical conservation corridor. A proposed location in Stafford, Virginia, was delayed over traffic and environmental concerns. A new Kent County, Virginia site has been pushed to 2031. Where Buc-ee's does land, the infrastructure investment required is considerable. Road widening, interchange redesigns, traffic signals, and utility upgrades are standard prerequisites, with costs typically shared between local governments, state transportation agencies, and the company. At Huber Heights, the State Transportation Department built a new highway ramp and redesigned an interchange entrance before the store could open. The pattern that holds across every completed opening is specific and measurable. Each location creates 200 or more full-time jobs paying $18 an hour or above, with full benefits in communities along major highway corridors. Each sells millions of gallons of fuel per year. Each draws millions of annual visitors. Each generates sustained property and sales tax revenue, measured in the millions over 15 to 30 years. Hiring events draw thousands of applicants for hundreds of positions. Opening days record over $1 million in revenue. Hotels in surrounding areas sell out. Roads are rebuilt to accommodate the volume. Across 55 locations in 12 states, a chain that started as a 3,000 square foot shop in 1982 now functions as one of the largest single-site employers and tax contributors in the communities where it operates.